Starship was released for the Atari 2600 as one of the console's original 9 launch titles in 1977. It's a first-person shooter where you need to clear out various enemies like starfighters, flying saucers, and space robots, each of which give you different point totals. These enemies don't fire back, they just try to smash into you. So if they're too close when you start firing, you gotta bail out and reposition yourself cause you don't just kill them in one shot. It takes a few hits. In fact, depending on the difficulty setting you have it on, your missiles are even slower in the alternate setting, so in that case you've gotta start attacking when they're even further away. Other variations change the speed of the objects and whether or not they come out one at a time or two at a time. Also, there are asteroids that you can't shoot down, you can only avoid them. Other variations include a moon landing mode, where you have to avoid the objects and land on the moon as many times as you can within the time limit, as well as a mode where your goal is to shoot down a space module or cover as much distance as possible while avoiding all the shit in the sky. In two-player modes, you can take turns controlling the objects that the other player is trying to shoot, as well as the moons or space modules in the other variations. Interestingly, the time limit in all of these games is 2 minutes and 16 seconds. Maybe it means something, I don't know, it seems kinda arbitrary. These competitive games may sound interesting on paper, but put into practice, it doesn't really work all that well. Sure, it's a little more fun than playing this game solo, but either way, the game is just kinda sluggish. Even when changing the speed of the objects, they move faster, but controlling your ship is stiff as balls. And despite having several different variations, they really aren't that interesting for the most part. I know that this is one of the OGs of Atari, but this wasn't even good for the time. In fact, Atari pulled it from its catalog completely in 1980, while some of the other games released at the same time still play well to this day. I'll give it a little bit of leeway for being one of the original 2600 games, not to mention that this was before space shooters were cool, but it's still too bland to be recommended.